Launching drop zone.
It's about to get hydro power. It's about to be on. 'Cause I was sent to warn you.
Hey everybody, and welcome to one of our very first developer streams. Now I'm saying that in air quotes because this is pre-recorded, so we're from in the past talking to you in the future. We certainly hope in episodes that we do down the road that we start to do these as live streams, but we're kind of testing things out. So this is going to be pre-recorded, but we're still going to keep it pretty loose and talk about some really fun things. Our goal is here to kind of invite you into Respawn and talk about sort of the past, present, and future of Apex Legends, and give you a chance to hear some of the developers talk about stuff, look at some great community fan art, and showcase the great work that they do, and give you kind of like a behind-the-scenes look at, for today, the making of Kings Canyon, which is going to be awesome. To kick things off, I have with me here at the studio the one and only Chad Grenier.
What's up, guys?
Our game director here on Apex Legends, and Brent McLeod.
Hello.
Also known as Scripticus for all of you out there. Here he is. We got him on here, whether he likes it or not, so we can talk about all the cool stuff we have going on. So we just launched Season 3, and we've talked about this was like our biggest beat that we've done. Like, I feel like this is something we've been working towards for such a long time. I remember Drew saying this is like a culmination of things that, like, for almost a year that we've been kind of building towards. For you guys, like, what are some of the things you're most proud of that we've kind of accomplished and seen kind of with Season 3?
Well, it's actually been more than a year. The map specifically, we've over probably a year and a half been working on that. So
November 2017.
November 2017. There you go.
That's crazy. Wow.
It's almost a year and 9 months. Or almost 2 years, actually. So yeah, we've been working on it for a long time, and characters, taking over a year to develop. So, and then obviously the last 3 months is a pretty big crunch to get it all wrapped up and packaged and get it out there. But overall, pretty big success, and looking forward to doing more.
Yeah, same. Now, with the us, introducing Season 3, it was a ton of new content. I think some of the most content that we've done in a drop. Naturally, we had some fun new issues that sort of popped up. Shout out to the community doing a great job of just creating things like the bug mega thread, and talking with Brent and talking with Chin, helping to troubleshoot. And we've had some fixes this week, Brent. So what are some of like the live issue stuff that we've been sort of addressing so far this week? And then we got a few things that are coming down the pipe too as well.
Well, we've been keeping an eye on the bug mega thread. So shout out to the Reddit mods for that. Yeah. It's been super cool of them. And we're just looking at, like, the biggest issue right now is probably the hang that people are getting. The game freezes at 100% CPU. We have a fix in test for that right now, and we're hoping to get that out as soon as possible.
Awesome.
What else we got? Number of server patch, script error fixes, things like that. Got some balance changes coming up. Charge rifle has been a big point of contention for people. It's been a bit oppressive, so we've got some stuff coming out for that, hopefully next week as well. And
yeah, I think it's pretty. I know we want to be thoughtful about the way that we do the balance changes for it, and so with the charge rifle, this won't be like just a straight damage nerf to it. We'll be increasing the amount of ammo that is used per shot. Changing the mag size for it, and also bringing in a bit of the fall-off damage across on it as well. And so we'll get into the full details of that, of course, when that change goes live, to give you guys a heads up. But for those of you that have been concerned about it, charge rifle is getting touched, and hopefully we'll bring it back to a more regular play level as well. We also did a couple of fixes around Crypto's drone that had to do with it sort of the behavior not acting right when it's done around mantling. Which is, when we're in triage for the live issues every day, like those are one of those bugs that sort of like, it feels like it's whack-a-mole, where it's like things attached to a zip line or Wraith's portal or mantling. Like there's always sort of like these little things that we have to grab, and the creativity that players have, I think, causes us to, definitely have to be on our toes for it. Like real quick, the drone synergy that's happening like with Crypto right now. What is some of the fun stuff that you guys are particularly liking right now with that? Because there's just been some wacky stuff people are doing.
I'm liking the Gibraltar chucking
the moving
the dome on the drone. I don't know if I've seen that used in any actual good plays yet, but
I
that
think we're
was
actually
pretty cool.
talking about a patch for that because we were kind of waiting to see, okay, can this be exploited in a bad way? And somebody was actually using it to kind of moving it in front of a squad member and raising and lowering it as like a gun shield.
Oh wow!
And I love.
I have
that
not
stuff,
seen
though.
that one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one that's been interesting to see, we'll see where that goes, is the Pathfinder, essentially flying.
Yes.
That's a little scary.
Some of the team coordination I've seen with it has been like pretty impressive, but like it's been interesting since crypto's entered the meta because seeing plays like that and seeing people capture footage, and then when we look at it, it's fun, the debates we have internally about like, is this a bug or is this just like a cool thing that players are doing? So it's always a balance we're trying to find, to your point. Like, can it be exploited? Does it like ruin the competitive integrity of the game? So that's always a balance that we're trying to find there for sure.
But we love the videos.
Oh my goodness, do we love the videos? We have a lot of fun watching a lot of those. We also did fix T-posing. I mainly called that up as it wasn't game breaking, but players had a lot of fun with it. I love people showing, like I collected them all for the screenshots and everything. So really glad, you guys always have fun when we have little like bugs like that show up. But that has also been fixed this week. But we're not really done with Season 3 as far as features and quality of life stuff that we have coming.
I mean, we got to get back to work.
We have to get back to work. That's the joy of a live game. We're never like done. It's like the minute we do something, we're like, okay, on to the next event. We're going to talk about the Halloween event a little bit down later into the show. But first off, we want to give you guys kind of a first look at a quality of life improvement that we're working on that will be coming in Season 3 that I think a lot of you have been asking for. I think we got Drew ready over there to show us a little something. So hey Rick, why don't we cut over? What's Drew checking out right now? Oh, okay, all right. So we got some training ground going.
Where's Bloodhound?
Wait a minute. What's different here? We're switching characters? Wait a minute. Always got to show that. Oh, of course, showing off. Swinging into the banner.
Face plants into his own card.
So, by popular request, we are going to be updating a training ground, which I believe will be called Firing Range.
Yep.
That you will be able to go into, and as you can see, we have laid out all the sweet loot. We have dummies there with shields and stuff you can shoot. You can use your abilities. You will be able to switch your character. Chad, anything else sort of like you guys are planning to do for this?
Well, I think it creates a new place for us to experiment and add on. There's obviously been a pretty big demand for it. Currently, people go into training, go through the first phase of training to get to the firing range, and that didn't seem like something we would want our fans to have to do. So I think this should help. You can do your character abilities, you can do your ultimate, your tactical, kind of play around with different characters. You're not trying to learn a new character when you're in a fight. And you can also bring your squad mates in here with you. So you can mess around. Maybe there's two of you, you're waiting for your buddy to sign on and fill out the trios. So I think it's a good space for people to use for various reasons. Aim practice, character learning.
Yeah, one of the things I'm excited to use this for are things like when meta changes or new loot enters into it. So like, for example, the 2 new hop-ups we did for Season 3, being able to play test those in kind of a safe environment and just shoot them around, and when we're making meta changes to weapons to get a sense of what those feel like. I think this is like a great starting point too of just like sort of to your point, like there's a lot of potential things that can do this and grow over time, and I'm sure players will continue to give us really good feedback for that. So for all of you out there, this is coming in Season 3. We are going to have a really fun training ground here for you guys where, like I said, you can equip all the stuff, shoot the weapons, eventually get in with your squad and use your abilities. It's been fun to kind of switch from one guy to the other. Ramey, I was talking to before this, who's done a lot of work on this, it's kind of fun to drop like Octane's like jump pad and then switch over to Gibraltar and leap off that. That's like just Yeah, it's great. I hope it's something that really helps for new players as well.
Yeah, looking forward to the feedback. Because it's very similar to training, we did get some feedback on places like Reddit and whatnot, and that's why the dummies were put in there. So yeah, feedback's good. It's definitely a place we can improve, but it's a good addition to season 3.
That's awesome. Drew, what a great job driving there. He's been having a lot of fun with this today. As we were setting up, getting ready to shoot and everything, and testing it out. And Drew's just been doing all sorts of fun stuff. So firing range, coming soon. Also coming in season 3, we announced it in our blog this week. We are doing a Halloween event called Fight or Fright. That is going to be starting on October 15th. Just to touch on some of the high-level stuff. So this is a collection event that we're going to be hosting. It's going to run for 3 weeks from 10/15 to November 5th. Here we're looking at, these are the items that you can earn that are event exclusive by completing challenges. So just by logging in, you're going to get your Fight or Fright music pack. That'll be for everybody. We got some badges for playing the mode, as well as R301 Rare. We've got the Octane Epic Legend skin and 2 legendaries that you can get for the completions as well. Not only that, the team has been putting together, Art really brought it on the skins this time around for sure. So here we're looking at Count Crypto, as I like to call him. His skins have just been on point. This is probably my favorite one, and perfect timing because Gibraltar, I think, plays really well in season 3. Maybe the scariest skin we've ever done with the clown Caustic. So these are all part of the 24 premium items that we have within the that are event exclusive. And so you have 3 ways to get these. You'll be able to either purchase them directly in the store with Apex coins through the premium packs, as well as with crafting materials. We also introduced the Lifeline heirloom with this item, which is, I'm so excited about that because Lifeline's like one of my mains, and I think like the defibrillator sticks was such a fun idea and a good playoff for drumsticks that people know. And so one thing that we changed about this that we have with Iron Crown, after purchasing all the event Apex packs, you have the option to get the heirloom item for free.
Yeah.
For all those, which is awesome.
Additional changes from Iron Crown also are well, we added direct purchase midway through, but from day one, and the crafting metals is new as well. Yep,
absolutely. So it's been great to get the player feedback on that side of it. But that's not all. Probably our big marquee piece is doing a brand new mode. This is so exciting because it's just super fun to play, and 2, it's like our first non-survival mode.
Yes.
Which is really cool. So why don't you guys talk a little bit? So this is going to take place on a nighttime spooky version of Kings Canyon. Our team just did an incredible job with. I love the new skybox. It looks amazing. So we're just going to look at a few fly-through shots here. Why don't you guys talk a little bit about the mode itself?
Sure. It's Shadowfall.
Shadowfall.
And it's actually done by the same guy who did for all the Titanfall fans the time shift level.
That's right. Shout out to Jake Keating.
It's kind of his baby, so he's put a lot of work and effort into it. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You dive in solo mode, the beginning of the mode, and then kind of fight it out for a while. And when you die, you come back as a Shadow Legend and
dive in, and you're like super fast. You've got your melee. You can climb walls.
Got your powerful melee attack.
It's been really fun. It's one of those play tests that always feels really lively when we're downstairs and you're seeing people that are checking it out. There's so much more to show on this mode, but you guys are going to have to wait till next week to see the really, really good stuff. We got a really great trailer for this that's really going to show it off in action. But the mode will be available for the 3 weeks. And last but not least, coming with this event, of course, is the top 5 wins, double XP. Weekend that will be running from October 25th through the 28th, and it's going to be a blast. And even this is not everything for season 3.
No,
it's not. We're not going to tell you yet what else is coming in season 3, but giving you guys sort of a peek at for the next month of October what to expect. So keep an eye out on all our official channels for Play Apex on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. For upcoming stuff. We got a really great trailer for Shadowfall, spoiler alert, that is going to be awesome. And if you are not already, make sure to follow our Devtracker that we use on Trello. that we update every week on live issues that we're working on and fixes. That's a great way to kind of look at what are the big things that we're currently looking at in the game. So that's kind of it for kind of like live issues portion. Up next, we're going to bring in a couple of guys on the team to take a look back at the making of Kings Canyon. So hold on one second. And just like that, through the magic of editing, this is the advantage of like not having live streams. So boom, I got two new devs right here. Jason McCord, map designer, lead designer. What is your official title now?
Lead designer.
Lead designer. And the man who took on the task of our first Battle Royale map design, and Robert Toppy. You have a newer role too.
Yes. Environment art director.
So you basically work with all the environment artists that we have here as far as piecing together everything.
Yep.
And the giant task of trying to art the largest map we have ever made.
Yeah, my role is mostly like help guide the vision and quality control, but yeah, artists do most of the work. So
good for them.
Yep.
Good for them. I'm glad we have that on recorded too. I'm thinking they're gonna definitely really appreciate that. I had talked to you guys earlier in the week that I thought, with World's Edge coming out, there's a lot of like reflection and nostalgia already for Kings Canyon. So I thought a great opportunity to kind of look back at that journey of our first Battle Royale map. You guys kind of dug through your share folders and old stuff that you've had. So you brought us a bunch of goodies looking like way back on stuff. Before we go into this, Garza, can you give me a close up here real quick? Just give me a close up here. Just real fast. Just real quick. Now, guys, we're going to be showing you stuff that's early in development. You may see some things. They're like, what is that? Are they making that? This is just stuff that's early in development. We know, don't. Mining guy, I'm looking at you. Let's all behave ourselves. This is just a look at the past. It's not necessarily things that are coming out in the game. So like I said, you might see some weird stuff, but during development, we have all sorts of weird stuff that's in the game as we are transitioning over to it. So with that, we're going to roll some of these, and I want you guys to give me like just a fun little story behind these early days. And this is such a trip to look at this stuff. It feels like it was 20 years ago. All right, so rolling up the first.
Yeah, this one's funny. I don't even know where it is.
That's what I was asking.
Everything changes so much over the course of like which we'll kind of see over time.
It's Rock Town.
I
think this is Cascades, I think.
Wow, early Cascades.
Without the river?
I think that's
And
the
the
river
bridge?
down there on the bottom, right?
Oh.
And I think that the watchtower is probably over to the left. But I think what's the most fun to see is the art style that we started with.
Yes.
This was back whenever we wanted to, we started off with white rocks, but when we noticed whenever, from the drop, everything was just kind of white and green, and it had no color or saturation, no life. So we really wanted to kind of boost the saturation, the color, bring more life to the whole level. It was kind of our different take, but
it was crazy. I thought this map looked so good, like was gonna look so amazing like this. And when you guys were talking about making it warmer, I was like, no, this is unique. And then you just did it, and then I was like, nope, you were right.
it started off with
That
just
looks a lot better.
me and one of the other artists just like brainstorming ideas, and then I was like, I'm just gonna try it, and I tried it, and I was like, oh wow, this orange worked pretty good, and then I saturated it even more, and then the joke became like we had Cheeto rocks everywhere, so then we brought it back down, but
It's that internal feedback that is very important to always have. It's interesting because even in the early days, you can see how you were thinking about funneling into the compartmentalized spaces, which I think is like both was served design for your goals, but also for art too.
Well, yeah, Drew came into the room like when we started making Apex for real. We started really deciding we were going to make this game. It was like late at night, and he came in, or at the end of the day, and he was like, "Hey, I need you to make this map as big as you can make it, and as big, and it needs to run on Xbox, and it needs to run on PlayStation, and we need it soon."
I gotta go. I'm out.
And then I went to Toby and I was like, how are we gonna do this? And he said, well, I don't know, but it needs to look this good. And he had a test map of like visual density, and it was like, it was about the size of wetlands. I think it was an early wetlands.
Yeah.
like
piece.
relay.
or really, yeah, somewhere around there, and you were like,
Yeah.
this is how dense and visually good it needs to look, and it was like, okay, well,
Wow.
I guess we're gonna make sections of that big, because that's how big we can make something look good. And
Yep.
so that's kind of what started the compartmentalizing of it all.
It killed
What-
it.
Turned out pretty
Great
good.
job.
What did we say? The actual map is what, 16 times larger than the largest map we ever made?
Yeah, the
So,
Nexus,
yeah.
which is a Titanfall 1 map, which really big.
Yeah.
So it's a big map. Here we are looking at early swamplands, I believe.
Yep. This was really like Swamplands came on pretty late. It was sort of an addition that we added after we had playtested a while as a way to rotate wide out of the map and kind of drop not hot. What do you want to call that?
Sure.
Cold.
Sure.
Um,
Tropic, stay cold. I call it staying alive.
that's what they say.
Staying
It's
alive.
hard.
Yes.
Yeah, and this was just like a fun, like Ewok Village was sort of the driving design goal, really. Like,
This is one of those areas too, like even in the early playtests and seeing the build out, that's sort of like felt like a cool connection point to the Titanfall universe. It felt like something you would see in the Titanfall universe. I always loved like sort of the verticality of it with the walkways and everything like that, and then the jump towers. It became one of my favorite spots to drop. I used to tell people because it's a high tier loot area and there's a balloon there, so
There's
you
a
can
lot of
always
loot
just
there.
get right out there.
and there's a lot of zip lines, so it's kind of fun to play around on.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this has got a story for sure.
Yeah.
So what, believe it or not, this is what Thunderdome was, this is what it originally was.
Look.
Let's talk about it.
Sometimes ideas start as little baby ideas.
And this was your baby idea.
And this was not even a baby. So yeah, I mean, it was just like a little thing on the edge. I thought it had I liked the name, I think, more than anything, and sort of the idea of what it could be, like an area that was built for battle. Like everything is built for battle.
Yes.
From a designer's perspective, but this was built for battle in the lore, right? So that would make it feel a lot different. And then obviously I think I literally handed it to Art close to this, and then they were like, okay, what about this? And then they showed me basically what we did, and I was like, yeah, you're right, that's way better.
I think we always, no, that's not true. I think we always, before we started this, we had a style from like one of our previous maps that we were like, oh, this, like we could bring a lot of elements
Yeah.
from that into this. And I think it was Austin, whenever he started on it, he wanted to try to like build like a big rock wall on the backside, and that started creating like some really interesting shadows, and it was kind of created like a bowl shape and really defined the area that
Cages
Thunderdome is.
floating up.
Yeah.
Gave it a lot of personality and like power positions about where you would go. I mean, honestly, I think Austin designed the area mostly.
I'm also I'd take a second the banners, like seeing the old like
the
versions
old
of those
title
too. But the banners are always like a part of the game for a really long time. So this is like I think one of the first areas like we were talking about that you geoed out when you were first building the map.
Yeah, this is like I had no idea what I was going to do, and this felt like the biggest thing that we could ever make at the time, just this little space. And I think this is what Tabi took and did a pass on. So this is not his pass. This is me just like throwing assets in and seeing if I could make something that felt like two towns that could fight each other and feel separate and maybe big enough.
I think something that we noticed really early on was we needed landmarks around. This was like, and then that started like naming areas. This ended up being Relay. You added the antenna there, and then after a lot of playtests, we noticed that it was like one of the smaller ones, and it wasn't really drawing people's attentions. And then we ended up doing like giant radar dishes in the back because we were just like, we need something bigger, stronger.
I bet most players that play this don't even know that there's a radio tower right there.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was like, that's going to be our landmark. We just need landmarks like this. And then
Yeah.
they just got bigger and bigger and bigger because that was not doing it.
I think it helps with the sight lines of the map too, with it being compartmentalized, that you can have those as like, oh, there's something over there.
Yep.
Wow, the Overlook Tower.
Yeah, this one was this was an idea early on that I felt like in a map this big with a big open world game, like I wanted it to be like the actual file name is Castle 01 and Castle 02 on the other side of the map. Like it was supposed to be a castle on the hill that overlooks the area, so you feel like, you know, it's the powerful position that you definitely either want to control or know if someone's controlling it when you get to it.
Yep.
There was no. This is connects to artillery. I hadn't even figured out that. I think you could just walk up on that hill, and just rain down fire from the top. A lot of figuring out what we should and shouldn't do.
Yeah, you can see the early kind of cascades there at the bottom, kind of left overlooking for it as well. This one's interesting to me too because as far as like the sort of silhouette of it, it's stayed, that sort of iconic look of it, it's kind of stayed pretty true throughout development, which is pretty rare, honestly, for sure.
Well, it came from Training Ground, which is a Titanfall 1 map. And yeah, I mean, the silhouette and the design is really strong. So, yeah, we just kept it.
Where's all the top downs? So how long? Where were you on this when? So this is a top down of like a basic. This is early Kings Canyon.
Yeah.
Probably a month then.
Maybe, yeah, probably a month. There's enough little details in there to see that I had been trying to solve some stuff, but
Yeah, it was like relay and cascades. You can tell like the details there. No swampland.
Yeah, no swampland. Skulltown is just a big island with a skull in it. I mean, there's like nothing over there, I think. But I guess it didn't change that much. Like the big ring around Skulltown got added. And Thunderdome got added.
Also, the river cutting through it has been a very consistent.
Yeah, that was like the initial just idea, goal.
Big slides into a river and then climb out of it. Always have to cross the river.
I guess this is also before we even decided, like, we wanted one side to be grassy, one side to be desert, and just really how we were going to differentiate the two sides and visually make it very distinctive. And as you're running around, like, knowing where you're at all times.
Yeah, I remember this was one of the areas where I started to get really excited in the playtest because it was starting to feel like we're really putting our spin on BR. Like this felt like this is very different than anything I've played before. And it was like it's just a really exciting kind of like look. So I think this is one of the parts I certainly remember during playtest where I was like, wow, we're really like onto something right now. This is becoming like just super interesting. A month in, crazy. So you're seeing over time as you are refining as things are going. It's really cool to kind of see. So I don't remember this. The dots on the right-hand side going on over there, the circles.
Yeah, so at this time, I think we still had full wall running.
Oh, we might have, yeah.
So that was like a traversal area of just madness. Like you could wall run on these cylinders to cross that gap, and that big square over there was going to be a town or a base or something. So it was kind of like a fun. Like the map was really trying to find like ways to traverse a big map. So that's why there's all the sliding and the big zip lines and stuff. And wall running would have been one of those if it didn't break everything else. Yeah.
This is where you're starting to see some of the military complexes starting to take shape over there at the north and south. Lee's base, as it was called during development. Shout out to Lee Horn, killing all of us over and over and over again over there. I can still hear his cackles as he would dunk on all of us over there.
And like, remember, this is already terrifying. The art team, and I haven't even added in Swamplands, Airbase, Thunderdome, the big connection area. And
bigger and bigger.
I added one of those, it was like, oh hey, by the way, I needed to add another area that's equivalent in size to like Angel City or something. Sorry.
I think at this point it was just like we were broken. We knew it was going to be hard, and it was just like, yeah, okay, why not?
We'll figure it out.
Like, just keep shoveling it on, and we'll figure it out.
Drew said it has to be the biggest map we've ever done, and we need it soon. So we had to roll. Yeah, you can kind of almost see that final shape, even like Shattered Forest starting to take shape over there. I remember seeing that for the first time, but it was just a big like dirt meadow. I think I would call it at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Thunderdome, or not Thunderdome.
So this,
Hydrodome,
the map's kind of like
yeah, it's rotated.
rotated just a bit here, but you can see now Swamplands over there with the bases. Skulltown and your sweet Thunderdome circle.
Thank you.
Circle design. Still staying strong over there. As you were fleshing these out, like, what was sort of the iteration as far as figuring out like distance between points of interest between players? Like, was that mostly just driven by feedback on the playtests?
I mean, I was just shooting from the hip, you know? No, we were trying to figure, I mean, this is the first time that we had made any game like this, so we were just trying variations on it, you know, and seeing what felt good. And there's big drops, there's little drops, and, you know, I kind of thought that I knew, when we were all done and we shipped it, I kind of felt like I knew what to do now to make this a new map, and then we launch it, and it even plays different live.
Totally.
So it's like we're learning something new every day on how it plays. But
I think this iteration is the first time that we had like everything was in there, like all the major points.
so.
Yeah.
And we had like all the occluders. We could really start understanding like performance. But
You guys start
You
doing
can
those paint overs.
you can see why I would do a Thunderdome like that, because it reads really well from this distance.
It
like
does,
from the
yeah.
Ship. My circle.
So this is, we were capturing heat maps during development. And so this is one of the early ones there. Now, one of the things I remember us saying, you can see the X there a little bit. Skulltown was a bit popular, but we never saw that same sort of popularity that we saw in the live game, to your point, that we saw the way people played Kings Canyon was definitely different in a live game than we typically saw in playtest, which was pretty fascinating. What were like some of the adjustments that you kind of learned and made from, or like how did the heat maps, once we started doing them, sort of help you refine that overall flow, and what did you want players to be doing when you would look at this stuff?
I mean, a map that's this big and you play the same map hundreds of hours, if you like the game, we want you to travel everywhere.
Yep.
Like maybe not completely equally, but a lot more than you see in the top right, for example. So that was one thing that I think we adjusted after. I remember taking a heat map that looked a lot like this to Tavi and saying, like, look, we can see a problem here. People aren't dropping up on this top right, and that's partially by design, but also like still wanted a little bit more than that. So we made some changes because Wetlands and Relay was a little more sparse, had less buildings.
Yep.
Didn't have the big concrete pieces, so it didn't draw as much attention from the sky. Things like that. We were already like basically done by the time I brought this to him, so we just did what we could. But
Sure.
I think we also had like tighter choke points. I think we like blasted open one of the
widened
walls.
some of it up. Yeah, it was basically Shattered Forest, not No Man's Land.
Once upon a time.
Yeah, it's hard to cross, so people don't want to land there. And the forest, right? It's like nestled in this spot, so we had to make it a little more appealing. But it's still your place to go when you're trying to live a little longer. It was always the design.
That's true. That's true. It looked great on a T-shirt. And then, so this is where people are landing from the drop.
So this is actually heat. Like the other one was just data.
Sure.
points.
So it's like the paths everyone's taking from it, right? Yeah.
This actually does a thing where if there's only one spot, one data point somewhere, you basically can't even see it. And the really bright spots are a bunch of data points in the same place. So this just helps us validate that the spots that we thought were going to pull people did. You can see Skulltown. Is that Skulltown? Or no, that's Thunderdome. Thunderdome's bright hot, which makes sense. Thunderdome was actually very hot in playtests
Yes, it was.
here.
Yep.
And Skulltown wasn't as much.
I remember Airbase being pretty popular too, seeing that over there. And Cascades and Bunker, which, players have also found that to be very popular as well.
Bunker was not a thing
Yeah.
in playtests.
I was gonna say, I bet Bunker would be like white hot, probably whitest hot.
Yeah, it wasn't even a named location until maybe a couple weeks before ship.
It's called a Caustic Cave now.
Yeah.
And so this always like blows my mind. So this is a video we shot a while back. This is the camera is in the same position, and it is showing it in the Geo days, and then this is about 4 months, I believe, that Art had been working on it, so not finished yet. And this shows the Thunderdome change, pretty crazy. It's just, it really puts in perspective. And one, players can see like what a game looks like for us most of the time while we're play testing it. And then, yeah, once Art gets their hands on it, it's pretty wild to see the transformation happen.
Yeah. There's so many. I mean, there's 17 zones, which is just an arbitrary measurement for us, but each zone has to have, like, in each town and everything has to have a compelling, like, look to it, gameplay style to it, name, like, all these things to landmark. It has all these things, and you sort of run out of ideas after a while. Like, if I ran out of ideas, I'll say.
Sure.
And so I had to lean a lot on the art team. They brought a lot of ideas to this map, and then we ran with them.
Yeah, it was cool too, because like you guys would do the paint overs, and so that was sort of our first look where you take areas of the game and just kind of show like visually like what you guys would do with it. This is almost like the video version of that in a lot of ways. That kind of comes over there. So like. Any particular areas, Toby, that you're like really proud of that you on this map? Anything that holds like a personal kind of?
Oh man, proud of the whole map.
I'm kind of that way when people ask me what my favorite legend is. I'm like, I've been with them for so long. All of them have like their own like little attachment to me.
Yeah, I think like like Jason was saying, like every zone kind of has its own challenges. Like I remember the first time he showed like Cascades. And I was like, you're crazy. There's no way we can do this sightline. Like this, you're standing on top of the hill and you can just see like, series of houses below. And I was like currently our tech doesn't support any of this. Like I know we're being ambitious here. Like, yeah, let's do it. But that was the one where I was like, man, I have no idea. And then we ended up doing it, and I think it looks cool.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good.
I mean, it was about the size of a multiplayer map that we would spend 4 months on to make for Titanfall 2.
Right.
But you can see it from half a mile away, and all the surrounding stuff, and the town beyond it.
Yeah.
And that just didn't make sense at the time.
Yeah, there was like, also going back to Cascades is like, we wanted the river to be like the lowest point, and then we wanted the river to be the divider for like grass and sand, and it's like even how to do that, there was just so many challenges on us. Like I had a lot of things that we solved. Artists did an amazing job.
Yeah,
Design
I think
was awesome.
It was an awesome thing to reveal. It was great to see like the response to it. I'm super proud, and Kings Canyon has been living on with. We've done the first map change with the Leviathans coming in. We have the nighttime map that's coming to it. We hope everyone's enjoying World's Edge. Kings Canyon's not gone, so don't worry. Kings Canyon is not gone for good by any means, for sure. This was a really nice trip down memory lane. Like it's like everything moves so fast, it can become kind of a blur. You almost just forget those days, especially in a live game where we're so focused on kind of the present and future for it. So appreciate you guys coming over here to take us down that trip for sure. And I'm sure we'll do one on World's Edge soon enough as well. Don't leave. We're not quite done yet. Next up, we are going to be taking a look at some of the sweet merch that is coming out this fall, as well as a look at our box product that we have coming out in 2 flavors. So hang tight. We'll be right back. And we're back again. So now we've got some really special stuff to show you. We have some things in set. Joining me here for this segment, we've got Aaron Gums from our product management team, the architect behind many of the cool things we're going to be showing, and Alex Ackerman, who is our Queen Regent and Protector of the Realm for our social channels, the voice behind Play Apex that you see out there.
Oh, what a title.
That's who, yeah. That's I'm having business cards made for you for
I
that.
love it.
That's
Love it.
My new thing. Thank you for coming.
Swag Mom.
Swag Mom?
Yeah.
Swag Mom,
Gums.
Queen Regent, Protector of the Realm of Apex social channels.
Mine's just a little bit longer, but I think it's okay. It's
cool.
We're going to need bigger lower thirds for both of you, I think. Thank you so much for coming. I've been so excited for this segment. I think merch is one of the things we've all been really pumped for, because we know this game is like just perfect for it. And we couldn't not do Funko Pops, right? So Aaron, this has been a big project for you, I know. So we have our 8 legends here. So why don't you talk a little bit about sort of a little bit of the process, and Alex and I are probably going to play with them actually while you're doing that.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so we were really excited to bring our original launch characters. So the ones that you see here are 8 launch roster, 8 characters from launch. I've been working really closely with the artists over at Funko and the artists internally here at Respawn to make sure that these represent the characters that you see in game. So yeah, I don't know if there's a close-up. We worked really closely to make sure we got Pathfinder's color just right, and that we got the nice metallic shine on his outer ring there for his eye.
Got this iconic thumbs up.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, that one, because it's one of the few that, it's got a whole mask on his face, so it's not the typical Funko, but it's pretty cool.
I was just looking at the Wraith too, and I noticed that she even has like her little nose ring.
Yeah.
So the detail.
Small
is really,
detail.
It's pretty amazing. And honestly, Funkos are probably one of the highest requested like merchandise items that I see on Twitter. So people are going to be super excited that they finally get their Funko Pops, and they look really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it's the same reason I love a lot of the fan art, where it's great to see like people kind of take their spin and their take on the characters. And so remember like when you were first showing us like the prototypes for these and seeing the sort of the stylized nature of seeing Caustic or Pathfinder or Bangs kind of in a different way. I think they caught just like a lot of the really cool little things, even Lifeline's winking. Garza should get like a nice close-up, just like a pan shot of our amazing roster here. So do we know when these will be available?
I think they're available in stores as soon as this week. They're coming out in October. You got to check in your local retailer to see when they're available, but they're definitely out there and available very soon, if not right now.
Mirage doing the boop point.
Yep.
It's so great.
Yeah, I really feel like they captured just like a lot of the fun elements for it. And we have some stuff further out, but Funko is not the only thing that we have coming. So I think, down the road we'll have a lot of other really fun merch stuff that we're talking about as well. I know you guys have been super busy behind the scenes, working with artists and other great partners for future stuff. So we're looking forward to sharing more about that down the road. That's not all you brought to show us though.
Yeah, my bag of tricks over here.
Also in October we have the box.
The box
coming
SKUs.
out. This is the first time we were actually seeing the physical boxes as well. The art is awesome. So Aaron, why don't you walk us through the different versions and how it's going to be available?
Yeah, so we've got 2 physical editions of Apex Legends available. We've got our Lifeline edition and our Bloodhound edition. And these are available launching next Friday, October 18th. We've got they'll be available on all platforms. And inside each box, they are available for a really good price. What you get is the legendary skin for each character. You get a matching legendary weapon skin for each one, and you get a banner, badge, and 1,000 Apex coins. So all of that you get for just $19.99, which we think is a pretty good value. And so you can check them out in your favorite retailer next Friday.
And then for the skins, this is the only way to get these 2 skins.
Yep, the only way to get any of that stuff, aside from, of course, Apex coins are available, but everything else that's in there is exclusive to these packs.
Awesome. Available all retailers, October 18th.
October 18th.
I think let's take a look at some of the little packaging I think we have, just so when you guys see these on the store shelves for both box product, I love the colors on these. They both just pop really good and stand out, and the art just looks fantastic on them.
And if you want to collect them, they'll be on your shelf. Look really cool there.
Because of course you do.
Yeah.
Because of course you do.
Awesome.
I need them both.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Drew made a good point. When we work on games and shipping a digital release, there's something really nice about having a physical copy of the game you worked on and something that's on your shelf. So I think it's just going to be a nice win. And we even have some of the packaged Funkos here as well, which I think are kind of put together really well. So when you see them on the store shelves, I can't wait for more legends and just all the fun stuff that's coming on there. So keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye on our official channels from Alex for more updates down the road, because this is just the start, I believe.
Yeah, we got a lot
more
of
merch.
cool stuff coming very soon, so check out our channels where we'll announce
Very
a lot
cool.
of cool merch.
Very cool. Well,
Play Apex.
we get to keep these though, right? Like, they stay here? Yeah.
You personally get to keep
I get to
them?
keep
or-
all those on my desk and put them aside. Like, Drew's gonna
I
we
think
each
Drew
get
gets
one
to
to
keep
go.
them for sure.
You took the one that I was. Of course, it's that one. Of course, it's Mirage, right? All of us were like, that was the one.
That was the one.
That was the
I don't
one.
know. I know a guy. I could probably look it up.
Oh, sweet, sweet. It was very brave of you to give these to us, because I know that they're still
I know I'm
here.
never going to see them again, so it's all right.
Probably, but worth it, right? Totally.
For sure.
So yes, keep an eye out for that stuff, and stay tuned. We got one more thing for you, where we're going to take a look at some of our favorite community fan art that we've seen out there. It's so hard to pick those. There's so many good ones. So
Too much good stuff.
coming up real soon. Hold tight.
I'm sorry it had to be this way. You're not the one I'm after. This is only the beginning. I'm here to break the game.
All right, players here.
They say knowledge is power, but what you do with it, that's what's important.
So that was the latest episode of Apex Tunes, which I think just dropped just this week. Actually,
Yesterday, I believe.
created by Moripara, one of our animators here. Yes, we love that you make this stuff.
So much.
So good. I get so excited when you send the email to us of like incoming Apex Tunes, so we can like take a look at it before you go put it out. Like that just, oh my goodness.
It's actually kind of nerve-wracking because it's the first time you guys see it. Before that, it's usually my wife and my kids that are my QA. So it's kind of nerve-wracking to send it out and get the first feedback. But it usually goes well.
I know you
so.
hate everyone telling you like how much we love it and how talented
It
you
usually
are.
goes
I
well,
know, it's
thankfully.
rough, man. It's really rough. I've been with you through the whole journey of Titan Tunes into
Yeah.
Apex Tunes, and yeah, man, you haven't made a bad one yet. I really like how you did like a BTS, like a look behind the scenes
Yeah.
of making the teas for crypto, which everyone did such a good job of putting that together. It was really neat, kind of seeing that take on it.
I mean, it was something that I've always been into, is the, the behind-the-scenes stuff. When I was a kid, I would get DVDs, not for the actual movie, but to watch how they made the movie.
Yep.
So I thought, well, this time I'll try and experiment and see if people like it. And I even asked them, "Do you like this kind of stuff?" And everybody seems to like it, so it might not be the last time.
Better not. Better not.
Oh, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was. So we thought it'd be appropriate, given that you make some pretty amazing fan art for your own game,
Yeah.
which is impressive. That we're going to take a look at some great fan art that has been out. There's so much of it. Like we could do a
God.
3-hour show, like
Yes.
the Pinterest board that we have where we save all this stuff, we're sharing it around the studio. Like, oh my goodness, the stuff you guys create is just it's unbelievable, and we're blown away by
Who
it.
gets the most fan art?
Ooh,
Which
who
legends?
does?
Probably Wraith.
Really?
Yeah. Mirage, though, has been getting quite a lot lately.
I was
And
expecting it was gonna be Wattson, but I guess
I did see a lot for Wattson. I think what was interesting to see is there was a lot of crypto before crypto actually came out.
That's true.
People were really into him. I think it's his whole aesthetic. The community had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, I would say first and foremost it's
who
Wraith.
gets the least fan art? Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
Oh,
Probably Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
Our man Jibs.
sad face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So send me your cool Gibraltar art so I can amplify the heck out of it.
I feel like after the Halloween event, he's might be getting
Oh, yeah,
a little
for
bit
sure.
more love because his Frankenstein skin is just out of this
Oh.
world.
And I
So
haven't done a
good.
little
So
cartoon
good.
about him either, so I need to.
I would love to see that.
I need to
Step it
get
up,
to
boy.
that. I know.
Very true. So, Alex, I asked you and the team this week to grab some pieces of fan art.
Yes.
Moy and I
Yes,
have
yes.
not seen these, so
No.
that we could just get some like raw reactions to them. So I'm very excited to see what you brought for us today. So, Rick, let's roll it. Let's check it out. Woo! Bangalore. Oh, it's so good to see Bangalore. She was my main for quite a while during like season 1 and 2, especially. That's a really.
She's
cool
my second. She's my alt. If somebody takes Wraith, then I will take Bangalore. Otherwise, it's Wraith for me.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I what I've noticed with Bangalore art is she always looks really powerful. Even in this one, I still think she looks like a badass while also looking like really beautiful at the same time. That's just kind of one of the big draws to her character and her personality, and I just feel like that's really represented well here, and I love it.
If I'm not mistaken, it's a couple that makes these
Yes.
illustrations.
Uh-huh.
I follow them on Twitter, I think, and
Yeah,
they
they're
they
amazing.
pump out some really amazing stuff. That's
Totally.
awesome.
Yeah, shout out to S. Bonnie and Clyde. That is awesome.
That is beautiful.
What else you got, Rick? Yes.
What?
Isn't this amazing?
What?
So I saw this circulating around Reddit a couple of weeks ago, and it's as you can tell, I'm speechless. It's amazing.
The helmet and the mask especially is just crazy.
That's the kind of stuff that makes me not look so crazy for making cartoons, because people obviously invest the time in creating fan art.
Totally.
Right?
Oh my god.
My gosh!
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I say outside of like physical drawings and whatnot, the cosplay community as well has been something that's just been so active with this game, and I'm constantly blown away.
Love it. Oh, I love the comics.
Oh, the caustic.
Why do we have to put on these ridiculous patterns? You get to wear face paint. Hey, you know what? That's true. We've talked about this a lot internally. I know you and I have talked about this a lot, Alex, that Caustic, is this like mad scientist, like,
So grumpy.
bad dude, and people have kind of turned into like this grumpy dad.
Yes.
Essentially, who's like all the legends just kind of troll him a little bit, and he's just sort of like, he's almost like the Eeyore of the group.
That even started a little bit internally, because we were animating him kind of very
Like a sinister.
serious?
Yeah.
But then one of our animators, Joe, he actually made that banner card where he has like a little cup of
the coffee.
the coffee.
Yeah.
And we all latched onto that idea, and we kind of gave him a new dimension of more, just a little bit more fun. And the community has latched onto that as well.
Oh yeah. As soon as Wattson came out, I think it was game over for Caustic. They kind of put them together. They have this really weird relationship of both being scientists and Wattson being so excited that she's found another scientist,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Caustic being this grumpy old man that wants like nothing to do with this youth. It's amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And Lifeline's just so excited. Ooh, really cool.
Yeah, this artist I absolutely adore. She does some really amazing work, and I saw this pop up, I think at the beginning of this week, and it's just awesome.
I think it captured his tone really well.
He almost seems like male model-esque. I mean, especially here with all of these poses, but I love this so much.
The
Yeah.
little question mark on the drone, too, on his back is a nice touch.
We always wanted to make sure that Crypto, whatever he did, he looked cool doing
He
it.
does.
So as long as the community, captures that, it's basically on character.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't
that
look
looks
cool doing
awesome.
any of those things.
I feel like Crypto is, personality-wise, what Mirage thinks he is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's exactly how we always handled it. Is Mirage is kind of a poser, and Crypto is that guy
Yeah.
who Mirage aspires to
Totally. It's
So
see it.
yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
So I know we said we were lacking in Gibraltar
Gibraltar.
art. However, the ones that are out there are pretty stunning.
Her coming through the portal, that's wild. That's an exploit. We have to fix that bug.
That's so cool.
Really cool, like cool in the shot. I love the composition of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the background's really cool. Wow.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, I love when they do the action scenes. That's always really rad. And stuff they've done around Wraith
Totally.
with the action scenes
Yeah.
and just the way they show like motion and everything is really cool. Love her eyes in that too.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome work.
Oh.
Oh.
That looks so
This
cool.
one, I think this is a play off of a really old photo of the workers on like a beam.
Yeah, yeah. From, like, New York
yeah,
City.
yeah, totally.
And I just saw this one and really latched onto it. I think because I secretly just love that Pathfinder wants to be friends with everyone.
I'm like imagining like Pathfinder helped him get up there.
Yeah.
Like he made a zip line for him so they could like maybe, Mirage just needed some quiet time.
Just kind of having a bad day. The new guy came and embarrassed him. And Pathfinder's, trying to cheer him up a little bit.
I would dare say that these two characters are the animation team's favorite legends to animate.
Uh-huh.
Just because when it's time to shoot something, we always have so many ideas for either one of these two.
I can see that.
And we love to shoot for Mirage and for Pathfinder and Octane as well.
It's incredible to see all the different styles too.
Oh yeah, I've
Of
seen this one.
Octane.
Wow.
That is cool.
I love the colors on this one. I think that Octane himself offers a lot color-wise just because he's green and his costume, but this really...
That dude is so good at taking selfies too.
Yeah.
Like amazing. I totally agree with you. Like I love the way like they rendered like the map behind him.
Yeah,
just
just
him and
selfies. I want to
motion.
know what his Instagram looks like.
It's like, hey, there we go.
He would have
That's
a
good
lot of
That's a
followers.
social channel we need to get.
Yeah.
We'll
I
have to
feel
get
like
started.
He's for sure an influencer.
I don't know if we could keep
For
up with him,
sure.
though.
That would be amazing.
He's definitely an influencer, for sure. That's another thing Mirage is probably jealous of him about.
Yep.
Yeah, very likely.
I would imagine, for sure. Yeah, what cool composition.
Ooh.
Oh, you know how I feel about
Yes.
pixel art.
Yep.
I love it.
Had to include one.
I love seeing, like, I feel like every time I see it, people, like, will do a different version of Pathfinder's screen. I really
Yeah.
like how people kind of take
Have
those
you
photos.
ever tried doing pixel art?
I haven't,
It's
no.
so hard. It's so I've tried it and mine was a lot smaller and it was so time consuming and challenging. This is amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, you usually see them in a sort of more stylized, like almost like you would see like in an RPG where the
Yeah.
proportions are very different, like they look like a Funko almost. To see it proportioned out like that, that's really cool. It's awesome.
Oh, Wattson.
Our girl Wattson.
There has been some really incredible Wattson fan art, and man, I'm still just like really impressed by it. That's really awesome. You can almost imagine that being like something you would see at a store, in the world of Apex, is like something a fan would buy, as like a poster or something.
That's why I was asking because just before she came out, I mean, when we revealed her, there was a lot of stuff coming in
So
super
much.
fast.
Yep.
And I think it's amazing.
Her personality is just so bubbly and delightful that I think that also really lends itself well to wanting to draw her. She's very...
And she's all about
Electric.
electricity, so it's like she gets to have electricity stuff all
Totally.
over. That stuff is just
The voice actress, Justine, she loves this kind of stuff on Twitter. She comments on them, and
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
I love that she's involved in that.
that's a really cool take on how happy she is.
I think I recently saw this one.
Yeah.
It's
This
awesome.
one was on Reddit, I think yesterday. Pretty amazing. I've actually seen this artist do a couple of Apex pieces, but this one was really stunning.
This is the reason why my cartoons are drawn in the style that they are, because I can't draw this good. That is amazing.
Yeah, I'm almost like it's one of those ones where I'm trying to the medium that they used for
Yeah.
to go do it as well. Her expression too. It's almost like she's got like a younger look to her.
Yeah.
It's almost like what I could imagine like her before like shit went down for her.
It's not the way that I would pose Wraith. This is a different take on her, so
It's a lot
it's
softer.
interesting. It's less angry,
A little
So
bit.
it's awesome.
There's like a clarity, like a sense of more confidence.
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
there.
for sure.
It's really cool. Like as a soldier or anything, I love it. Love the scarf around her too.
That's
the
a
way
good
that's
take
put
for
together.
sure.
That's what I love is like the players taking like what we started,
Aw.
and it taking on a life of its own. I could have done like 30 more of those.
Yeah, those are really good picks.
Those are
Yeah.
just awesome.
Really, really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you out there that make this stuff, like, believe me, like, the team, just, it means the world to us as far as just, like, we love seeing, like, your takes on it and the different, like, styles and everything. The amount of times, like, we'll be texting each other when we see something, like, particularly cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was really there. What a high note to end our first episode
Yeah.
on, for sure. So thank you guys so much for coming.
Of course.
Moy, thank you for the animations in the game and Apex Tunes.
I'm glad people like them.
So much. We're going to sign off here with you guys. Let's get everybody in. It was our first episode. Drew, Chad, everybody come on in here. We're
Are we all clapping?
gonna like thank you
no.
everybody on the first
Okay.
episode. Garza on the cameras from behind. Everybody who came in here.
We did it.
Thank you for watching. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
Almost.
Tommy, there he is. There he is. Thank you so much for watching the first of many down the road. We'd love to hear feedback on things you'd like for us to talk about in the future, BTS things you'd like to see, topics for us to talk about. This has been a lot of fun with you guys.
It was awesome.
It feels really cool. We've been wanting to do this for a while. So thank you again for watching. And again, keep an eye on the Play Apex channels for updates. Halloween event starts on October 15th. Funkos are going to be available soon. Box product for Apex Legends in the Bloodhound and Lifeline versions, $19.99 at retailers, October 18th. There's a lot going on in October. Oh my goodness.
I can't wait. It's awesome.
See you guys soon. Thanks.